G'day guys, Spittin Chips here, back for hopefully another entertaining short episode. Today I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the quickest way to get into the PulseChain ecosystem. For the newcomers, this may be a little bit of a struggle, so just going to hopefully try and make this a little bit easier for you through the process. For the ones that are veterans already know, you guys know the best way to bridge across, but for those other people, the newcomers, you might go, oh, how do I get through into this ecosystem? And if you're new to crypto in general, it can seem or feel to be quite complicated. So I'm going to take you through the quickest way and the easiest way to do that. Obviously, you see the disclaimer below in this stream, in this video, just to understand this for all entertainment purposes. And it's up to yourself to make the right decision. So just getting over to PulseChain. So here's the website, pulsechain.com. And at the top here, you can see buy Pulse or go Pulse. So if we click on buy Pulse, it's going to give you a bit of details down here. You can say, if you'd like to, the easiest way to buy Pulse, the native token of PulseChain, is to bridge ETH from Ethereum to Pulse. Now that's using the bridge, but for some of you that might be difficult, but I'll definitely go through and show you how to do that. And then you swap it for Pulse. The other way is to try Coast, Token Express. And also the wallets you might want to use is Rabi Wallet, Internet Money, or MetaMask. So that's the way it's showing for you, showing how to do it from here. So we can click on each one of these and it's going to open it up. And then also MetaMask. And then from that, we'll just go back to PulseChain and just go to GoPulse. So since GoPulse is the first one to come up, see at the top here, we've got stats, apps, coins, buy, portfolio, and swap. If we go to buy, it's got buy with cryptos. So this is if you already have cryptos. So you got Ethereum, ETH, BTC, Bitcoin, Hex on Ethereum, eHex, DAI, USDC, USDT, BNB, XRP, XLM, Matic, TRX, and ADA. So Tron and ADA. Or we can go directly with a card. So if we click on that directly with a card, and it'll go to change now. So that's changenow.io. This is an exchange, yeah? So what's down the bottom here is going to want you to have an address. So you need an address to do this exchange, which means that you need to, we'll go back to Pulse now, we'll go buy Pulse. You need to have one of these wallets from Rabi Wallet, Internet Money, or MetaMask. So I'm going to click back to those wallets. So this is MetaMask, widely used in the crypto sphere, very popular and very reliable. You download this to your phone or your PC. Where is Rabi Wallet? Rabi Wallet. There's Rabi Wallet, similar to MetaMask. You can also download it using these explorers. And the other one here is Internet Money, which I saw you bring up as well. Now, from my knowledge, with Internet Money, that's actually quite special because you can upload fiat directly to Internet, from my knowledge, directly to Internet Money, and actually purchase Pulse that way instead of doing a swapping mechanism, which is quite significant. So your first step, you need to have a wallet. Now you need that for any crypto. You need to create a wallet to hold it, unless you're on an actual central exchange. So the best part about Internet Money is that it will create a wallet and a place where you can store it, similar to an exchange where you create an account. So Rabi Wallet, GoPulse. Now it's redirecting you. Remember, we went back to GoPulse, which is PulseChain, and at the very top, GoPulse, buy with credit card, takes you to change.io. So you cut and paste your address here, and then you put your money, your amount of money. Now, if you want to do $1,000, unfortunately, it won't allow you that because there's a maximum here. The maximum is at the moment $301.72. So it's best to just go 300. And for $300, it will calculate. Unfortunately, it's trying to refresh at the moment. Let's just go $100 and see what that does. There we go. For $100, you'll get 1.8 million Pulse. And then you add that to your wallet. Now you're saying, okay, I haven't had Pulse before. Now with the wallet, it's going to give you a address on the Pulse chain. So you need to put that here. And that's, you're going to go through the terms and conditions, do your credit card, all those details, and boom. And that's how you get your Pulse, the quickest way to do it. Now, there's also similar places where you can do that. So now with MetaMask, you open up your MetaMask wallet, and you would purchase Ethereum. And from Ethereum, you're going to bridge that over. I'll show you how to do that. And that's also the same with Rabby. You'll use that to bridge it over. And this is another way you can get into the ecosystem. Also, Coast your money on PulseChain, which is another one to use, very popular. Same with the wallet. So actually products you can purchase and so forth. Yeah, very supported. Look into one of these and see which one you want to use. Coast, buy. The Coast buy provides what feels like a direct buy experience. Users from PLS to get PLS, which is PulseChain, PulseX, which is PulseX, the exchange, hex, and weights in their internal wallets. Yes, you can now on-route the PulseChain without having PLS to pay the transactions, like minting. So it's just another direct pathway. So you're just aware, it's Coast is OX0xCoast.com. And I'll leave all these descriptions in them below so you got a direct pathway to see what you can find. But just remember, that's all on PulseChain website. And when you go buy, it's all here. So you get an idea. Also, there's other information of how you can progress forward, and the Telegram chat. So reach out on the Telegram chat and they'll be able to give you more direction that way. But for more seasoned investors, we like to bridge. So what that means? That means is that we use an exchange. So we go to an exchange like, we're going to go to CoinSpot, which is for Australia. Create a, this is a centralized exchange, and you know I've been talking about decentralized, but we can do a centralized, which is called CEX, CEX. You create your account and then you go buy or sell and you purchase Ethereum here. You purchase Ethereum, and then once you purchase it, then it will give you a unique address which you have it from. So then what you do is you send that Ethereum using Rabby or MetaMask. MetaMask is more popular, and you send it to your MetaMask. From that point there, you're going to go to the exchange, the bridge. And the quickest way to find the bridge is from PulseX. And then you launch PulseX. We use Pinter, we use the cloud. Where it decides to load. Obviously I'm doing streaming, so it's a little bit delayed. And see up the top here on PulseX, there's bridge. So you go bridge, Pinto, just loading. There you go. So you go connect your wallet. You're going to select your Ethereum, your amount of Ethereum. You go connect it, and then you're going to bridge that Ethereum over. And that's the process. So once your Ethereum is bridged over to PulseChain through your connected wallets, which you have connected through MetaMask, you're bridged over. From that point, then you can swap your wrapped Ether, because once you go from one chain to another, from Ethereum chain to PulseChain, it becomes wrapped. And then from the wrapped, you purchase your Pulse, and that's how it's done. Just like that. Very easy. So yeah, it's quite cool. And then from there, once you have your Pulse, then you can start doing things like exchanging it and using the exchange, decentralized exchange like PulseX. In another video, I'll go through PulseX and explain that more how it works. But yeah, you can buy some PulseX, which I highly recommend personally, and you can go through and buy some Hex on PulseChain, incentive token, or many of the other unique tokens. There's your coast on PulseChain. So progressing on from there, if you want a little bit more information about Internet of Money, internetmoney.io. So this is a community entity from within the PulseChain community, and they created this for more simplicity to support the PulseChain ecosystem. That was the same with Coast, another one for the PulseChain ecosystem. And if you go on to YouTube, you can see internetmoney.io, and that's their YouTube account. So that's them and all their information here, so you can look it up. So you don't need to go directly on this one, but if you want to go directly to the source, that's Internet of Money. And also Internet of Money has the X profile, which is former Twitter, so you can find it as well, which is at internetmoney.io, and just so a bit of information what they're doing as well. So from there, what I'm going to do is just give you a bit of a rundown, a bit of information to follow up on that, because I enjoy asking ChatGPT and just asking them, what's the quickest way to get into PulseChain if I've never purchased it before? And ChatGPT has straight away said use MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Coin98. So obviously MetaMask is at the top, but it's forgot to add Rabby. So MetaMask and Rabby. And then it's saying you buy Ether, which is what I said, you've got to buy it from exchange. So you buy on exchange, like Coinbase, Binance, or Kraken, and then or CoinSpot, and then you send it to your MetaMask. Now this might be a bit of experience for you, but this is how the crypto sphere works. And if you can learn to do this, you're going to be independent from exchanges. Is what crypto is all about. There's nothing wrong with exchanges, but it's better to be decentralized, so then you've got no third party messing with anything. So then it's saying once you do there, experience exactly what I've said to you, is that you bridge it over then to PulseChain and progress from there. And then using this PulseX. Also, when you're on the Ethereum chain, you can use Uniswap, and that's a great way to change over and do whatever you want. There's also wrapped Pulse on the Ethereum chain, so you don't need to go to the PulseChain if you want to just get Pulse on Ethereum chain. So just people that are new to the crypto sphere, you got PulseChain, you got Ethereum. There's wrapped Ethereum on PulseChain, and there's wrapped PulseChain on the Ethereum chain. They've crossed over. Just makes it a bit more simple for doing things. So progressing down from that. At the moment, because PulseChain is relatively new, there's not any centralized exchanges supporting. Now there was, but there's not any at the moment, just because of the bit of a dilemma Richard Haas going through. But that's soon hopefully going to be resolved, and then a lot of centralized exchanges are going to start adopting it again or providing it because of liquidity and demand. It's completely understandable that from an exchange of a centralized exchange, I can understand they just don't want to dip their toes in what's perceived to be risky. But hopefully within the next few weeks, it's going to be all cleared up and you'll know it's a big exchange. But that's is maybe an indicator. Still early days to get in. So yeah. So the exchanges that it was offering until it got removed was Transac, TRANSAK, and MoonPay. Those were the two. The bigger ones like centralized exchanges like BNB, Binance, BNB is a token, but Binance currently doesn't offer it, just for those reasons. But I'm sure that's going to change very soon. When you're looking up in ChatGPT, you just gotta. Sometimes you don't get all the information. Like, it didn't say internet money when I wanted to find out a place to purchase Pulse. All right, so progressing down from that point. What you're going to have in the centralized exchanges is KYC. And this is an identification mechanism. It's what they have to do to abide by the country's regulations and so forth. This is verifications. So some type of identity you need to provide. It's more for tracing, and they're trying to limit laundering money and crime and everything else. The downside of that is that more exposure where you have to give your identity instead of crypto being anonymous, like cash. There's some details about Transact and MovePay, but there's no point going to them at the moment until they start offering it. So internet money, a bit of information about internet money. Internet money is primarily focused on purchasing PulseChain, PLS. That's the ticker for PulseChain. Directly fair to stablecoins. However, the platform's transaction limits will depend on the factors like verification level, whether you've completed identification, verification, the KYC, payment method. Different methods, bank transfer, credit card, etc., have different limits. So you may be limited by your fiat, and that's for your bank or your credit card, and so forth. You may be able to adjust limits. Since internet money is designed to be user-friendly, it's possible that it may have limits based on the payment type. So, for instance, depending on your credit card or debit card, you may have a limit between $5,000 or $10,000 per transaction. And bank transfers could go up to $50K or more, but depending on the services of the banks and everything else. So the platform is offering these abilities, but you need to see what your bank can offer and even change the levels. This is all your own discretion, and good luck with all your investments. I'm not a financial planner or advisor, but I'm just giving you providing you with ideas of how to do it. So, and I hope it all goes well for you. You just got to be very careful when you do all these things, and make sure you give all the correct details. There's plenty of people out there, but once you want on the actual platform and the right site, I've showed you the correct site at the very beginning, and nothing should go wrong. So there's no point looking at Transact or MoonPay. And just progressing down. So from that point there, I was interested about why did MoonPay and Transact stop offering the possibility of purchasing PulseChain directly. And the main thing I think is just regulatory compliance. PulseChain is still a very new ecosystem. And the platforms might have jurisdictions, so they have to be careful about which tokens they can list. So they may have listed before, but because of what's happening at the moment in America, as you know, there's a big change, a big shift towards cryptocurrencies. This will come in time. And also liquidity. So liquidity is the amount of wealth. So the ability to buy and sell. Obviously you need one side, this is called liquidity pairs. One needs to offer it and to sell it. So if you want to buy, there must be an offering there and the ability to make that transaction close. And also the main thing about PulseChain is it's purely focusing as much as it can on decentralization, DeFi. The reason why that is just the community, more so Rich at heart, wants to eliminate the ability of third parties. He wants it all to be, hey, I don't want third parties involved. It's all code. It's all math. Whatever interaction you do is from a personal perspective. So you are doing the work, no one else. And in that way, nothing can go wrong. from that point, I was curious about how wrapped. If you're new to crypto, wrapped tokens means that you've taken it from one chain to another. For example, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Binance. Each one of those have a token and tickers, and you can see those here. I want to know what happens when you bridge it over. So this will happen with any chain. So what they've got is they've got an entity. It's a smart contract, and you can go into my videos about smart contracts. I can definitely explain that more down the track. But what you do is you have a certain amount of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Binance, BNB, and it's held on that chain. And there's an interaction with PulseChain for all these different chains. And with that native token, it's then bridged over. So then there's a one-to-one ratio. And that's how it becomes wrapped on the other chain. It's supported. And then there's like a guarantee that it's on that chain. And that's how bridging works and wrapping. So for there to continue to be wrapping back and forth, you need to have a certain amount of ether or sol or wherever it may be on that chain to secure the one-to-one. So I was interested to know what is the current amounts on the PulseChain. And currently the estimations from ChatGPT is, just scrolling down there, here we go. So Ethereum, wrapped Ethereum is WETH, and the estimation, the current amount on PulseChain is 100,000 ETH. So 100,000 Ethereum has been bridged over. It's back to one-to-one. Bitcoin, 5,000 Bitcoin has been wrapped and brought over. Binance coin, which is BNB, 50,000 of that has been wrapped and brought over. And Solana, which is Sol, 20,000 of that has been wrapped and brought over. So these are available on the PulseChain, which is really good because you can actually purchase these now, and you have a one-to-one backing, which is a guarantee. And now you can buy and sell at a cheaper price in interacting on the actual PulseChain, which is what you want. You want lower fees. So you can own this asset, and then you can trade it with other people if you want to sell it. But also on top of that, you can also bridge it back to the native chain. For instance, if you want to bridge back your wrapped ETH to Ethereum, it will be transferred and swapped back from wrapped ETH to ETH. And then you will get your original ETH on Ethereum, and then you can do whatever you want. And there's plenty of videos out there, very simple videos on YouTube on how you can do that. But it's just pretty much using that bridge in the opposite way. That's all it is. The bridge that I showed you.
But in a handsome way. She loves me.
And that's about it from there. So progressing from there, I thought we might do a little bit of a market update. And what's happened there? Just do a refresh. Here we go. This is wrapped BTC, and this is on PulseChain with PulseX. It's looking pretty good. Look at that trend. Looking really good. Because obviously I'm showing other coins because it's all about crypto. It's about everything. So these indicators can tell you what's going to happen with everything else. So yeah, BTC, Bitcoin is looking really good. It's looking healthy. It's continuing on. It's in like a channel at the moment, which is fine. Over 100K. Next one, Ethereum. Ethereum's had a hard time, but it's still on this trend line. So I think it's all right. It's going through something at the moment, but it looks like from that look of it, actually looks like a bull flag. So it might have a breakout up the upwards soon. Here we got, okay, PulseChain. So currently remember I told you it was looking like me to be a head and shoulders. Well, it looks like it's changing and it's no longer head and shoulders, but we're on a daily at the moment, so we can go to 4 hourly, which is a good one to see. You can see that
It felt like all 4 seasons happened in one day.
it's buying and selling, but sort of holding this quite well.
Laughing at you.
And it's on this trend. It hasn't dropped below the trend, and it hasn't dropped below the last lower low, so which is always positive. If it hasn't dropped below this and it's continuing to go and upwards, that's what you want to see. And also this here, it's progressing upwards, hoping to be very positive news. Remember, jumping out of PulseX, you can see the PulseX bear is they've wrapped Pulse. Yep, the same. Progressing upwards, looks pretty good. A few more days to make sure it's not a head and shoulders, but it looks like it's progressing up nicely. And what's the next one? Incentive coin. Get that reloading again. Same. That's a long-term trend, and it's short-term. It's progressing upwards as well. So the whole ecosystem is actually doing quite well, considering what it has to go through. It's doing quite well. So this is, I'll just do Hex on Ethereum instead of Hex on I'll do Hex on PulseChain before Hex on Ethereum. And yeah, that's the same. Look at this, progressing upwards. This is the line, hasn't dropped down, doing quite well. It's bouncing off. It looks like it's a bit of a consolidation period, and it's going to break out soon, hopefully. And Hex on Ethereum. Look at that, trend is going upwards now. Bit of consolidation, looks like a bit of a wedge. Let's hope it starts to break out. And that's the same. Just looked at Hex before. And just use another one because we were actually looking at Dex Screener. So just having a quick look on TradingView, and sometimes a little bit of a nice graph, and you can see a little bit of a cut there. Let's see how it goes. But in general, very healthy. Also another one to look at, the whole, because you know, if one crypto is going up, usually means all cryptos are going up. XRP doing very well. Now this was an interesting one for me to look at, because XRP was considered, if you're new to the ecosystem, XRP was going through a very hard time for a long time, and yeah, it had court cases and everything else. It had a partial win, and now they're going through other dilemmas in the court. But then there was some positive media getting out, and all of a sudden, look, the sentiment changed. The sentiment just changed for XRP, and just broke out and went up. Look at that. Look at those gains. So we can measure that right now, about there, all the way to there, 489%. So just think what would happen if the sentiment changed in PulseChain and all the other main core ones. Just doing so badly for so long, XRP was, and all of a sudden it just breaks out, kills it. All right, jumping over to Richard Hart's X profile, formerly Twitter, and he's just giving out some more details regarding what's going on in the crypto sphere, telling the Ethereum crowd, hey, wake up, do something about Ethereum. If you want to make it better, you got to do this for yourself. Yeah, very pro in what's going on in the governments at the moment. Just more details. It's good to see what's going on in the ecosystem. So the one last thing I would like to suggest, and that's how to promote PulseChain better, because obviously you've heard me talk about it in my last videos, in why I think PulseChain is such a unique layer 1 crypto, and that's from it being very democratic, and probably one of the only democratic layer 1 crypto chains out there. And that's because it's the unique construction, how it operates. So if we want this to do well and get the word out there, there's simple things you got to do. But one thing I've thought of, and I'm going to try to implement myself, but if you can do it, it would be great. And there's a common symbolism out there of a PulseChain logo, a PulseX logo, and then a hex logo. The hex logo looks like the hex logo there. And then what we could do, or what you could do, if you're able to do this, because I've got to do a bit of research and see how it's possible, is you could do something very eye-catchy but small little stickers, and you could do create a link. So I just forgot the name of these links. You know, the one that you scan the code, the URL code, where you go to a restaurant now, a coffee shop, and you scan it, and from the video, the photograph, it brings it up and takes you straight to what it is. Or what you could do is you could do 3 of those or 4 of those and just start making these stickers. And one of them could be of the PulseChain, and just go, not the PulseChain Bridge, but just Pulse, and right here, and it would redirect you straight to Pulse. And then another one could be to Go Pulse, or whatever one you think is the best for advertising it. Just redirecting you straight away, make it the easiest possible. You scan it, and it takes you straight there. Or you could do one where it takes you to Internet of Money, where you can purchase it straight away. So maybe you want to do 3 of them. And it's just a bit of a way for people to understand, okay, this is the way I get to it. You want to make this as easy as possible, because that's what it's about, making things simple. And then maybe a small something to you know, make them think, little phrase, something on the lines of Ethereum but better. Or if you like Ethereum, you'll love PulseChain. Or something like Ethereum but cheaper. Just so you know, hey, it's similar to Ethereum, but we've got we can say we've got a better product over here. Anyway, guys, nice quick video for you there. What I'm going to do is probably the next video talk about PulseX a bit more and how that operates, and after that dive into Hex a bit more, and I'll continue give you information. I'll probably do a comparison between all major layer ones and how they operate. So the major ones I'll probably do is be Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, BNB Binance, and then and Solana. Just do a bit of a breakdown and see what's different between all these ones. And we'll keep going. As you can see here, there's the main core prices. We're in a 7 daily, 6 hourly. 6 hourly, we're in the green. How good's that? So yeah, we're up 50% of sacrifice rate. Progressing on. I'm still positive. We're still very early in the bull market, so from what I feel, hopefully things are going to go very well soon, and hopefully we'll get make some decent improvements on our lives from with these trades. All right, guys, have a good one. Check it out now. Obviously, see the link down below on this live stream. There's the disclaimers and all the other details, and also these links to all the websites I've spoken about. And feel free to like, subscribe, or share. And if you feel that you would like to help me out, please feel free to tip or donate to the wallets I've put there, and it'd be much appreciated for me to improve and spend more time on doing research and delivering better punchy videos. But yeah, take it easy.